Okay, hello, good morning. This is, I guess, technically the third time we're playing with Satoru, Norin the Wary in this kind of Aether Vial strategy, although this is the second time we're playing it in a Champion the Parish, Thalia's Lieutenant build. To give a little history on how the deck's evolving, we started in like with a Ephemerate Solitude Subtlety version that was like more, that wasn't really playing any human synergies outside of getting to play some Cavern of Souls, and was just really all about like getting Satoru and play and kind of using it like an up the beanstalk. I think that the humans build has been going better, but we haven't had like stellar results with either build so far. But it does just really feel like there's something special here. The humans build is really nice because you get to play really just beautiful mana, and Norin the Wary, in addition to like, doesn't work with only Satoru, also just makes your champion the parishes and Thalia's lieutenants really dang big. Um, since last time, I ended up going down to one Meddling Mage in the main deck, kind of as a recruiter target for pieces of interaction. So this way we can play 4 Esper Sentinels in the main, which will give us a much better and lower mana curve, which is something I've been pretty interested in doing. And then we're also trying Kitesail Larcenist over Reflector Mage / Brutal Cathar. Brutal Cathar was really underperforming. Reflector Mage was okay. But after doing some like digging, I think Kitesail Larcenist is going to be the best option. It's a 2/3 flying, ward 1, and when it nears the battlefield, you can choose an artifact or creature, either player control. So you can actually technically, sorry, I got a spam call. So you can actually choose your own thing here, which is not going to happen that often. I'm kind of like, I have my eyes on the lookouts for like moments where we might treasure token our own thing. But you can treasure token, you can turn something your opponent controls into a treasure token as long as this is on the field. And what I like about this beyond just being, I think, probably the best like creature interaction that you can play in the spot, better than Reflector Mage, better than Brutal Cathar, most likely, is that this card also can answer the One Ring, which was a huge problem for this list. Was that the ring was just like not a card you could like really interact with in any meaningful way. Um, Another chatter had a suggestion for playing Force of Negation in the sideboard, which is also part of the reason why we're playing 4 Kitesail Larcenist. We're down to 2 Delney. Delney has been really performing super well. It's like, at the moment, I'm very hurt only playing 1, but we can still Recruiter for it. The card was like really good to draw naturally, just really performing quite well. But I wanted to get the blue card count higher, so post-board we could be playing 4 Force of Negations, a bit cleaner. The creativity matchup was kind of tough. Matchups against decks like Tron, ring decks in general. I think having access to Force of Negation, mostly for creativity though, because we played a league last time and we were like 2-0, then we lost to creativity twice, and I was like, oh well, need a plan for that matchup. And we were playing some Orvars, but I think we're playing Forces now. I've cut the Gigantha from the deck. Maybe we should still play Gigantha. There just like are not a lot of main deck Blood Moons at the moment. The Gigantha, we just our hands are always just so full of cards that Gigantha mostly seem like just like Blood Moon out. I don't know. Maybe we should be playing it. We'll think about it some more. But let's go ahead and start playing some games. Still feeling pretty confident about 4 Norin the Wary. It's like a card I've just been dying to draw when it's not in my hand. I'm usually very happy to have it in my hand, and you just have this nut draw of Norin into Satoru, or like Vial and Norin into cast Satoru, which you like just ideally you want to have that as many games as possible. So I'm still pretty in on quad Norins. If you have extra Norins, you can cycle them a lot of the time, since the 2 return triggers trigger separately. Do we need Lavinia for the Satoru Mirror? Yeah, I'm a big Lavinia hater. I think it's bad against, or it's worse than Meddling Mage in basically every matchup. Rope Burn with the 37 months, or that you would like kind of want this effect. Atos with the 40 months, Green Wire that's 15. But Lavinia is better against like Rhinos and Living In, but these decks are not as common. We also have the Vials, of course, but that would be my big issue. Is like you'd have to like Cavern on Illusion. Aether Vial, name human. Draw land next turn. We're in great shape. We get to go like cast Unsettled Mariner, then Vial and Satoru, draw a card, go from there. We can wait a turn. That's okay. Why no? Pick your poison main and Force in the side of the Image isn't a card down cheap spell for your turn. It has enough targets, I think. I don't think Pick Your Poison is just not good in enough matchups in my opinion to main deck. I guess it's kind of that simple for me. You could main deck it if you wanted to. Okay. Yeah. If you I don't know if you think that's better, you can. Force of Negation has been awesome. Being a card down just doesn't matter that much. The deck is not something that cares very much about card disadvantage. If that makes sense, like you generate a ton of advantage with Demi Liches and Phoenixes, and so being able to like do your thing, and then for 0 mana, slow your opponent down or stop your opponent's turn is just huge deal. Kitesail Larcenist is definitely going to be a big upgrade in this matchup. Why no, huh? Nice one-lander. Nice Norin. Well, I've been burned before, but seems like I'm going to wait a turn on this Kitesail. They just don't have that much going on at the moment. We also have this Unsettled Mariner, so like their Valakut stuff isn't going to be as good against me. Redbeard Angel with the 9 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Forsaken Bacon with the 7. Mike Big Helmet with the 16. Appreciate y'all. It is nice too that if they just slam a Wandering, which is likely we just have Larcenist for it. They would have played extra Amulets and Dryads this turn. Titan seems unlikely. Yeah, I agree. And just getting the Norin going with the Thalia of Tudun is like, it's just like if we go this turn, it's like, how much power is this lieutenant worth? 5 right now plus another one. It's like 2. It's like 6 power minimum for 2 mana. It's just so crazy. And then the Nord draws at least 1 card. Then another card every turn on my turn, and probably a card on their turn every turn. So nice to win game 1 without even having to use the Larcenist. Definitely seemed like their hand was not all that. So I'm gonna bring in the Meddling Mages. I'm gonna bring in the Disenchants. I'm gonna cut the Esper Sentinels. I'm gonna cut the Jirina, I think. I'm likely going to cut the Mariners, since despite Mariner being kind of nice against Valakut is... I mean, I guess I need to keep Jirina because sometimes they play sweepers. This is, I think, the same like thought process we've had in the past. I don't think I want to play Force of Negation, but it is kind of nice that they just, like, could not really see this card coming. You know what? What if we did like this? Maybe Delney's just kind of slow. Yeah, this also stops like any of their like sweepers. They'll have Storm's Wrath most likely. I don't think Dom's list had Storm Wrath, and I'm kind of assuming all the Amulet gamers are, or the majority of Amulet gamers are playing Dom's list. Dude, Twitter is so shitty right now. Like I'm typing Dom. Like literally the results for like Dom H, Dom HAR are like different every single time. I'm like backspacing and typing. It's just like this website just doesn't work. Okay, I don't see his readily available on Twitter. It's okay. Let's Dom had 2 Roxanne. Yeah, I can't. Roxanne seems pretty scary. Let's submit this though. Force of Negation is like one thing I like about this card is it's just like so hard for your opponent to play around against the humans deck. Okay, War Priest of Thune is pretty good. Norin plus Champ plus Lieutenant would be a lot of power toughness. My opponent's mulling to 5, mulling to 4. Thank you, High Nation. Roxanne. Enters the battlefield or attacks, make a meteorite that can tap for a mana and deals 2 damage to any target. Whenever you tap an artifact for mana, add 1 mana of the type. Oh wow, this card like that card rules, dude. I hadn't really read it very closely before. So I think with this draw, I'm actually just going to lead on Norin, so I can go Norin into Satoru and start drawing cards. Opponent has 2 cards in their hand. Roxanne. The Hideaway Humans list. I saw Saffron Olive posted a deck with the Hideaway artifact. I like that card. I would like to build around it. 5 mana 3 toughness. You're not wrong. Just a sick card, you know what I mean? Go, Satoru, Norin. Best friends forever. War Priest is in disenchant. Well, Loran is in disenchant, so I'm. War Priest is just. What is destroy target enchantment? Erase? I guess that's exile? But, you know, Loran is both, so I just. Two, obviously would make it better. Alright, snap keeping this. The go live notification was turn 1 Aether Vial every game. I guess we didn't have it last game, but. That's okay. How's Recruiter in games you don't have turn 1 Vial? I worry he's too inefficient without Vial. Recruiter's good. I don't know. It's definitely a lot better with Aether Vial. I think Imperial Recruiter has been overperforming for me. I've been pretty impressed. Okay, Satoru, or sorry, Unsettled Mariner rather, is very, very good against Yawgmoth. Oh, also the Kitesail Larcenist, I think, are also going to help improve this matchup. So feel a little bit more comfortable playing one less scheming fence. Satoru has been I think, just crazy good in this deck. Okay, turn 2 Grist on the play. It's pretty good. If I don't draw a land, I'm going to have to Violent Satoru main phase, probably. Okay. So I don't, at the moment, have a way to trigger my Norin the Wary. I guess I'm just going to cast this. So if they let me draw a card with Satoru and I draw 1-drop, I can Vial it in. I'm also just kind of representing stuff here where in humans you're not usually representing anything with a Secluded Courtyard up. I am pretty optimistic about the... Okay, they're leaving me with my Satoru. I'm pretty optimistic about both Unsettled Mariners being great here. They like really just Yawgmoth, I think, can have a really hard time early against these. Okay, so they ping me. I guess they're gonna get to ping the Norin. We drew a Kitesail Larcenist, which is cool. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is stack the triggers so this first Vial ticks up first. I'm going to Vial in this Unsettled Mariner. And then see if I draw a land, which would makes this turn a lot easier. Thank you, Unsettled Mariner. Dude, 2 Mariners good, 3 Mariners is kind of crazy. I think I'm not going to take up this other Vial right now. Why not Vial into Norin to draw a land? I probably should have done that, huh? I've not drawn the land yet, though. We've had a lot of looks at the land. There you go. So next turn, I'm probably just ticking up the Vial to both Vials to 3. Yeah. Would not have drawn the land for what it's worth, but yeah, we should just Vial the draw. You could activate before it ticks up and do both. There's no point in this deck, like, I'm gonna Vial in a 2, then tick it up to 3 in the same turn. Like, I could just wait to make that decision next turn. I have no 4s. I would, like, possibly want to tick up 4, you know? The Cauldron? Oh, it's a Yogg, okay. So Yogg usually would be super devastating on this board. Because we have these Unsettled Mariners, they are not going to be able to, like, wipe my board out here, which is really nice. And then we'll be able to Larcen the Yogg. Is there any world where... I guess if we draw a land, we can go Recruiter for Delney, then Violent Larcenist, then cast Delney in Violent Larcenist. Get rid of 2 things. Then draw the land, so let's... Oh, fuck. Protection from humans. Does not make the matchup better. So I guess we only can really deal with Scheming Fence. Dang it. Least Mariner is good against Blood Artist too. Protection from humans. So I did find the land. I guess what I should do is I should get my Delney. And then the Delney is going to double both Mariner triggers. Look at this Orcish Bowmaster chilling over here. Which will really make it tough for my opponent. You knew this from MTGO. Yeah, I know. It's a lot going on here. Should have known. It's nice that this is at least flying, so we can present some extra pressure. And then we actually get double Lieutenant triggers to like make this really, really big next turn. Do I want to attack with anything? I don't really think so, since they just do still have pro-humans. I would have targeted the Bowmasters to keep growing the Orc. Okay, that is what I did. I did stack my triggers wrong. My Kitesail Larcenist is pretty unkillable here. It has basically Ward 6. What is this? Shieldred? Second Young Wolf. They're floating legendary spell mana. They sack their Bowmaster. They do have Shieldred. So they can gain not infinite life, but a lot of life. But yeah, I don't know if I just get like, what if so now that I don't care as much about life points, I can go like Violent Recruiter, get a second Kitesail Larcenist, get my fourth Unsettled Mariner, and then I'll basically have Ward 8 on everything. And then they won't be, and you know, because they're on Blood Artist for the most part that targets, I don't really know exactly how they like beat me from there. Yeah, we have Kitesail Larcenist as our like O-ring creature. And without, unironically, I can defeat if they have like 100 life. Like, I can win. Shieldred Drain doesn't target. Yeah, but Shieldred Drain is only going to trigger 2 at a time, and I can deal with it. I can deal with the Shieldred. I will deal with the Shieldred next turn. Gristalt. Gristalt could potentially get me. They are pretty far away from having enough creatures in the yard, and I can also start attacking the Grist, but something to watch out for sure. This is a cool game. It's very odd as a humans player to be looking at this board state and be like, I think I'm ahead. I think I'm ahead. The Mariners are really, like, especially with the Delney doubling up the triggers, it'd be so tough for them. They pick up Blood Artist or Core before Cord, then we win. No, because Blood Artist targets. They can't target me with Blood Artist. Each Blood Artist has Ward 4. Shout out to Coppercoat Vanguard. Do they know that? I don't know. If they have Zulapar Cutthroat, though, I think that kills me. Discard creatures to hand size for Gristalt. Yeah, that's super cool line. Okay, so let's go ahead and say no to this. No to this. If you Kitesail Young Wolf, it doesn't get Undying. I would think not. So we have Violent Recruiter. We get to recruit 2 things. Let's go ahead and draw our cards off the Satoru. We get to draw 2 cards off Satoru. Oh, there's a Shieldred still in play, huh? That's okay. Think we'll be not dead. I'll just stack my triggers a bit better here, but I could have stacked it to where I could have got the Shieldred before I drew. So do I need to get this 4th Mariner? Maybe I get Jirina. I don't know. The extra Mariner just seems so game over to me. Okay, so stack these last, huh? Then we're going to target the Shieldred, and wait, oh, what? Why am I getting, I'm confused. Can't choose 2 targets. Okay. It says 1 remaining, though. 2 remaining, 1 remaining. I think this is not right, yeah. Let's get the 4/4 Orc off of there. Bird? I don't think the bird matters very much. Hit done. Yeah, it was just weird because it said one remaining, but yeah, that's what I did. Okay, Shieldred is a treasure token. It's very funny visually. Um, so I can go. I guess if I play one Unsettled Mariner, they have one, two, three. They do have enough to like pay for ward on something. Yeah, so let's just play both Mariners here. Unless I feel like it's possible for my opponent to kill me with this Grist ult this turn. You know what? I think it's possible enough that I should probably be prioritizing casting Thalia's Lieutenant so that my Kitesail Larcenist can. Oh, they have the Gilded Goose blocker. Do not cast Lieutenant. I wasn't going to, but what's so serious about not casting Lieutenant here? Oh, it turns off Delney? Hey, that's okay. Okay. Probably wanted to turn the goose into treasure. Yeah, I think so. It undoubles ward. Oh, right. So much power and toughness, though. Tough, weird board, weird board state. Yeah, Ward 4 is also probably going to be too hard to lose. I don't think that my opponent can put. I guess I only have to put 8 more creatures here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe they can. Maybe I fucked up with my trigger stacking. You didn't see the 2 targets of Kitesail or your own stuff in theirs. Oh, I forgot you could target your own stuff and yours at the same time. That makes sense. Okay, 5 creatures in the yard, 6 creatures in the yard. Yeah, looks like me stacking my triggers wrong against Shield is gonna get me here. Oh, they spent 2 mana on a creature though, so maybe not. It's just a tough game. Yeah, the Grist Ultimate kills me now. Stupid commander, each opponent. My bad for stacking the triggers wrong. Tough game. Okay, I'm gonna bring in these scheming fences. I got the Charming Prince. I'm still gonna keep in the Kite Sails. Got all the Esper Sentinels. I think I'm gonna bring in the remaining mages. Yeah, I should hit the goose with the Larcenist. I mean, my opponent let the Grist take the damage anyways, but that also like let them have one less creature for the Grist. The big punt was stacking my triggers wrong against Shieldred. I could have just had 4 more health, which I don't think my opponent could have killed me nearly as easily there. They might have still been able to. Very complicated game. Keep this. Nice that you can just scheming fence a mana dork on turn 2. And then scheming fence actually gets the abilities of the mana dork. There's a cutthroat. We lost to Grist Ultimate. Takes the Meddling Mage. It's a good draw. Nice that my turn 2 Lieutenant's not going to die to a Bowmaster. It's going to become pretty big pretty fast. Okay, let's go. Let's go champ plus scheming fence, and I guess I'm gonna scheming fence the hierarch. Could be good to scave the scheming fence for Yogg, but getting to play the champ this turn is a lot of pressure with the Norin coming down. If I draw a land, I can go Recruiter into a Disruptive 2-drop too next turn, because my fence has the mana generating properties now. Norin just +4 power every turn. So lands are good, spells are good here. Opponent's also going to have to start doing some chumping. They've got a pretty easy chump with this hierarch, I guess. They also have the ability to court for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So court for 3. I did draw my land, so I have a lot of interesting options with this Recruiter. Maybe I should just recruit for Mariner. I could recruit for Satoru also. I think I'm going to just start off by attacking for 11, and then seeing if my opponent does cord for something, and if they do cord, what they cord for. Because I think there's a solid chance my opponent like chumps and then cords for Hapatra, but they also may cord for like Hapatra end of turn. I think we just get Larcenist. There's like no chance I'm getting Larcenist. I can't cast. I need to get something I can cast this turn. Okay, so Malibrute, the 23 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Kind of leaning towards Satoru. Because if my opponent has Yogg, Mariner's just not going to be enough. I could get Meddling Mage and name Yogg. It's tough. I think because they're at 6 life, like their Yogg is just not going to be as good. I'm going to go and just get Satoru. So my opponent just like has a grist and they kill my champ, like, and I got like Meddling Mage or maybe Mariner. I don't know if they'd have enough mana. It'd be pretty tough. Yeah, I know Meddling Mage is a bit awkward. I think they make like cord in response to casting the mage if they had cord. Yeah, but they're just at 6 life here. I think I have an okay attack with the Satoru too, since that's Menace. I can attack with this in the champ. Interesting. Pick up. Can I attack with the Scheming Fence also? I think I can. So then kill my Norin in response. Which I think is good for me, because now I just get to go Kitesail the wall. Maybe I Kitesail the halfling. I think just walk as a cord. I'm gonna send with everything. Larcenist to force their hand. I always think this kind of stuff is so funny. Like I'm gonna cast Larcenist. I have nothing else to do. Larcenist to force their hand. It's really Larcenist because I have no other plays. They're killing my champ. I kind of don't think they realize how just dead on board they are, right? Like they block here, they go to 1, and then they just can't. Not dead on board, but they're going to 1 right now with just a Yogg in play. It's not a good life total to be at. And they just have to. They can't even sack their halfling. They have to chump with it. Oh, sorry, they can. They can't sack the halfling. Right. Never mind. Still, they're at 1 life point. Very, very hard for Yawgmoth to be at 1 life point, and we win game 2 after punting game 1. You cannot Kitesail Yogg. It's still a human source. Such bullshit, huh? Okay. Game 3 on the draw. Let's go. I think Kitesail also does target. Yeah. Mariner is really, really good. Especially with the Delney. I'm gonna go ahead and click the keep button. Kind of a little soft too. Bowmaster, maybe I'll draw an Aether Vial. Maybe I'll get Thought Seized again. Turn 1 Halfling. Yeah, so going now. Next turn, Mariner. Then Delney, double ward, which also, if champion's alive, the champion will be a 4/4 on turn 3. Might just get Bowmastered here, though. Yeah, bummer. So I think this turn I should probably... Maybe I should just Meddling Mage and name Yawgmoth. Since they won't be able to chord for Yogg this turn, but they could cast it. Yeah, we've tried Reflector Mage. We're playing Kitesail now. I think Kitesail's likely a bit better. So right now they would be courting for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is, you know, a Yawgmoth. Thinking about the merits of... I kind of just feel like I can't afford to be mana inefficient. Maybe I can afford to. Okay, let's cast the Mariner. Wouldn't Scheming Fence work? We have Scheming Fence. Or what's the question? The Scheming Fence doesn't target, so you can Scheming Fence Yogg. But yeah, but Larcenist does target. Says we're target on it. Targets. They have Fatal Push. Has at least 3 spells in hand. Here comes the Yogg. Okay, I cast Delney. Weird. My opponent sacks, lets the thing get countered, and then sacks something else to go after the Mariner with. I'm a bit confused by that turn. Seems like we're gonna need the top deck. Like a Scheming Fence. Lemon, 22 years. Welcome back. They probably misclicked. Maybe. They probably tried to play with wall roots as resolving. Oh, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, gotta draw a fence. Do think this is still likely the worst matchup, but it does feel like a lot better than basically any other humans build ever. So they're chord for a Blood Artist, but they don't have lethal here without a Young Wolf. So I think Scheming Fence is still an out, but it's not necessarily an out that puts me in good shape, right? Yep. GG. Tough matchup. Could have played better game 1. It was a weird spot. A card like this, you untap with it. The problem is, the problem is, like, there's a million cards like this. 3 mana value creatures, no ETB, no protection. If you untap with them, you win. It's just never a good strategy in Modern. Why Mariner over Coppercoat? Coppercoat, Mariner protects itself, and Mariner protects you. Mariner is so much better than Coppercoat. It protects itself, and it protects you. Dog matchup feels unwinnable for humans, not gonna lie. This build has felt a lot better against it. Sorry, I saw my name here. I thought I was on the play for a second at F6. This build has definitely been a lot better. against Yogg. I think we beat it the last time we played it. So turn 1 Moonsnare prototype. Let's go and play the Sentinel here. GG Solitude side. Scheming Fence has been really good against them. We had the 4th Scheming Fence last time. Maybe we should have the 4th Scheming Fence again, but that seems to be the current plan. Is creativity big enough to make Containment Priest sideboard consideration? Yeah, maybe Containment Priest is better than the Force of Negations, because that's mostly where we have the Force of Negations for. Containment Priest does also seem awesome against Yogg. I like the suggestion a lot. I'm gonna play Norin champ here, and then to attack with the Sentinel. Then our champ will be a 3/3. Then likely a 4/4 on my opponent's turn. 5/5 on my turn. What do we cover Sentinel? We went down to 1 Meddling Mage in the main. Then getting access to Sentinel has really, lowered the curve a lot, which has been, I think, a nice upgrade. So I get to draw a card. We'll see if they go crazy here. They have to have Frogmite to get a construct immediately. Priest shuts off Norin and Vial. Oh, right. Priest battle with Norin, Priest battle with Vial. Probably too big of a non-bow. Still a good suggestion. I mean, like, the Vial stuff doesn't matter as much, but turning off Norin feels pretty bad. Norin is just such an important piece. Okay, the old second main phase Frogmite. Thankfully, my champ will be able to rumble with this construct. Not gonna choose anything on my own side, of course. This is still an artifact after the Kitesail. Notably, Reflector Mage couldn't turn off the synthesizer in these kind of spots. I'll totally board out Norin for Priest. I'll test it. Okay. I mean, like, if you board out Norin for Priest, are you also going to board out your Satoros? Because at that point, your Satoros are not very good cards. That's like 8 cards. Satoru's still good with Vial, but Satoru's pretty mediocre in this deck if you don't have Norin. Or access to Norin, at least. So you're going to pay for Sentinel. Doom, 46 months. Did you break Norin yet? About 600 copies. Not a finance stream Doom. But Norin is pretty good in this deck. Okay, so it's out of cards in hand. They do have a 9/9. They don't equip their boots too for some reason. I'm just gonna take 9 and then Larson. Any Larcenists in the chat? Norin just dies to Bowmaster anyway, so it's not against Yogg. I mean, it only dies to Bowmaster if you draw a card while Norin's in play. I don't know. Yeah, you can do this. I think I would probably play the 4th Scheming Fence before I played the 1st Containment Priest. But if you want to play more, that's fine. Dude, Norin's so crazy in this deck. I love that in this build compared to non-humans builds, like Norin just like still it can be a pretty good card for you. Urza's Hug is a good top deck for our opponent. They equip the boots onto the Frogmite. They should have a pretty reasonable attack with it if they wanted to take it here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and sack a clearing. Okay. Delney, I think, is almost definitely the play here. Doubles up Sentinel trigger. Makes my top decks a lot better. At the moment I'm planning on chump blocking the construct with my Esper Sentinel, because I can't really chump with any of these, so this makes sense, this attack. And I get to put my opponent in a spot where they're going to have a hard time not blocking my champ. So I guess doubling Esper Sentinel doesn't matter that much. We'll see if they even send with the construct here, since they feel kind of on the back foot. Looks like they are going to send. The Delney making, basically my whole board unblockable's got to be a little bit of a pain for them. So we are going to jump with the Sentinel, though. And then we need to be a little bit worried about Shadow Spear. I guess I need to think about leaving my champ back to block next turn, since this is going to be 2-3 bigger, 13-13 with lifelink. Champ up to 12-12 will be like 14-14, 15-15. Yeah, I think I'm just going to cast 2 Unsettled Mariners this turn. Get my champ up to 15-15. Leave it back to block the big constructs. I should be pretty safely able to attack with everything besides the champ here. They can't block Delney. They have any bounce in deck with prototypes out of Aura? Yeah, they also could maybe have Aether Spellbomb. If they have Aether Spellbomb, then they're not grabbing Shadow Spear, which I think I'm just likely going to win against. Yeah, we also have the Mariners for some protection there too. So if they Aether Spellbomb sec this, they could still pay the 2. Yeah, not too surprised they're grabbing Shadow Spear. Not too often either that your humans deck has a card that's just bigger than their construct. They top deck Thought Monitor for turn, which is a big problem if they can get this construct up to 15-15 and equip Shadow Spear, which seems pretty unlikely. They would have to draw 2 0-mana cards, or I guess no, yeah, 2 0-mana cards, because if they sack this for a mana, then they can't. They're down an artifact. So I guess if they had another Thought Monitor, they could sack this or Thought Monitor and draw more 0-mana cards. So there's 1 0-mana artifact. If they top deck Thought Monitor into 2 0-mana artifacts, maybe we could just lose. Just playing a second Norin, add 1 or 2 counters. If the other Norin is not, if the other Norin is already, it'll always add 2 if you didn't Vial in the second Norin while the first Norin is in play, because the 2 triggers trigger separately and they come back and grow the champ. They don't have to sack though. I'm just saying that if they drew an artifact that costs mana, they would have to sack. Wait, no, don't tap the construct, tap the boots. Tap the boots, not the construct. Did they mean to? Opponent, tap the boots and the Shadow Spear. Don't tap your creatures. This is artifacts too. Okay, this on the Thought Monitor is very scary. I do have some chump blocking flyers, I guess. Let's see what we draw off the Silent Clearing. Okay, that's actually a pretty interesting draw. Or are they just dead? Because they can only block with 2 things here. So they block. So this can't block, this can't block. They jump here, they block here, they're just dead. Okay, great. Oh, I've miscounted. What I messed up here is I didn't realize that this can block, but it has to chump block the champ. Fuck. Combat math was never my specialty. Realized the second too late. We do have a Kataki in the sideboard. That should help some. Infinity's been pretty popular. So I'm going to cut the Mariners. I think the Sentinels are okay. Sorry about that, gamers. Wasn't lethal if you didn't cast a spell. Norin can never deal damage. I think Jirina's fine. Yeah, I was pretty... I guess I was dead next turn, right? Because they just put the Nettle Cyst on the Spear Construct. Good news. I take back my apology, chat. I think I'm going to show my Lieutenant, too, since I boarded in. I mean, I boarded out some 2s, too. Okay, keeping this. Good looking hand. Gemstone Caverns in Infinity, like to see it. Yeah, you can technically you can actually block with yeah, you can block with Norin in this deck. It's because I'm lying to my opponent. If you violate Norin on one, you can block. They don't cast a spell. Recruiter can fetch Satoru. It's power 2 or less. That's like the main reason we're playing it. Okay, nice to see that turn 1 Saga with me having this War Priest of Thune. Have 4 cards in their hand. We'll see how busted this turn 1 is. Very cool, being able to pay for Esper Sentinel on turn 1. Oh, but just choosing not to. So we get to go War Priest into Sentinel Lieutenant. 2/2/2 Sentinels would be pretty annoying for them. Wonder why they didn't pay. What they're holding up. Can't be a counter spell. Even if it was, we have Cavern. But they don't have any blue mana. Recruiter the Guard fetches Wisp, and Imperial can't, right? Sounds right. I mean, the white one's just not legal, you know, but sounds right. Been loving the War Priest of Thunes. Yeah, so next turn I think I'm going to go Sentinel Lieutenant. Could also just go 1/1/1. Maybe 1/1/1 is better. We'll see what we top deck. I'm going to take a while on the attack there. But also Scheming Fence this Moonsnare prototype. Let's save it. I think there's a solid chance they have Metallic Root. No, why would they? They would surely. So the thing is, affinity gamers are all like unhinged lunatics that like just board a Metallic Rebuke against like every deck with spells. Yeah, well, affinity players, you are an unhinged lunatic for having Metallic Rebuke in against the Aether Vial Cavern of Souls gamer. I just like, of course they have it in their deck against us, but maybe they are main decking it. But affinity gamers are so goofy because they're like, let's sideboard Metallic Rebuke and then bring it in every matchup. So goofy. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go second Sentinel, Norin. I'm gonna sideboard it in against any deck with spells. They might be main decking it. I know. I think if you're gonna board it into matchups like this and you think it's good, you should be main decking it. It was like really telegraphed, and I'm just like, how could they possibly have it in their deck here? So ideally, I'd like to try to win this game without showing them Kataki. I'm not sure exactly how well they can play around Kataki. Ooh, so we get at least one card. Why don't you cast a champion with the Cavern? Because I would have preferred for them to counter the champion than an Esper Sentinel or Norin. It was on purpose. I preferred for the rebuke to hit that. Again, nor did I think that they had it right. I'm gonna grab a Kataki. Oh wait, sorry, I can't cast Kataki at the moment. Am I still grabbing it? I think I'm gonna grab Loran. They have one card in their hand here. Maybe grabbing Kataki is still good and just draw any land besides Island we can cast it. Yeah, I played a lot of Affinity variants and for a long time. Oh, of course they have a Thought Monitor. I played a lot of Affinity variants and never been a big fan of the Metallic Rebukes. Dude, nice turn for them. Do I have to kill the Saga? They didn't play anything else like this last turn, which is kind of nice. I think I'm actually going to take the turn off to Satoru. And then play a Thalia's Lieutenant. I can jump block the Construct a bit. Maybe super block it too, not sure. Is War Priest the best human that kills Saga? I believe that there are exactly 2 human creatures that can kill Saga on turn 2, which is why we're playing it over more Lorans, because like basically everything else costs 3 mana. there's this, and there's Dawnbreaker Cleric, which is a 1/3 that can gain 2 life or exile a card from the graveyard, but I just kind of think the 2/2 matters more. TBH. Okay, give it a chump block. Draw another card off the Norin, another counter on the Thalia's Lieutenant. One card in their hand. Probably just playing Scheming Fences like a chump blocker here. Could just cycle second Nor and get an extra counter on the Lieutenant. Gotta kill the Saga because of Shadow Spear. You have 3 constructs, which are all, pretty large and, dare I say, pretty in charge. I think let's go ahead and value this extra chump blocker here. Choose the only artifact of theirs with an activated ability. I think I have made another blunder this game. Pick your poison gore sideboard. I'm not thinking of one in the main. I know you could play it, but like I at the moment am not thinking that Pick Your Poison is like a particularly main deckable card. If you disagree, you disagree and you main deck it, right? But I don't feel like it's been looking like a main deck card. Okay, so I'm gonna need to find Recruiter or Kataki. I've got like 2 more looks before I crack the clearing, but then I can't draw the Kataki. So Loran gives me an extra look, which is nice. Aether Vial. Secluded Courtyard. Okay, let me go and just each draw. Okay, there's the Recruiter. Whew. Right on time. Perfectly played game. Can't even have Metallic Rebuke up. Yeah, Ziggurat can cast Kataki. Oh, sorry, I should have cast the second Norin first. So now it doesn't really do anything unless I attack. Okay, so it's not. Could have cast the Vial. Not playing very well today, sorry. Okay, figured out opponent. Got some triggers on the stack. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 artifacts. So they're going to lose 5. Kataki versus Affinity. Affinity is popular on Magic Online. People really like these synthesizer builds. My opponent also has like not once tapped a non-creature to their Moonsnare prototype this match. They paid for all of their constructs, and they can pay for one more thing. Seems like they're going to lose their Midnight Moonsnare, Razor-type Bridge, and Citadel, which are going to shrink these constructs down to. Oh, so they let the synthesizer go. They're letting the Darksteel Citadel go. They're paying for the bridge. They're losing the Moonsnare. They're losing the Midnight. And the fact that my Lieutenant can now chomp up a construct is a pretty big deal. I can also take 2 hits from these constructs. Yeah, and they just take their draw and concede. Kataki is good against Affinity. Holy guacamole. Shout out to Loran drawing the Recruiter. It looks close. Satoru's not super good here. Let's go to Mulligan. I think we could have some better hands here, and this is definitely a better hand. Put back second Lieutenant probably. The Larcenist I think are pretty good. They would have been really good against our Amulet opponent, but our Amulet opponent had ended up We would have been like maybe in dicey shape against our amulet opponent. But we had without the Larcenist, we had them in our hand, but then my opponent's draws were kind of bad, or they were spreading propaganda. It's kind of how it felt. Relic of Progenitus. Why is that in their deck right now? Name human. They've been good. I'm kind of bumbling. They've been good. They can't get rid of Yogg. I don't know why I was thinking that they could. Protection from humans continues to be pretty good against the human deck. Amulet's not unbeatable. Yeah, I agree. Amulet's not unbeatable, but again, it was nice. The opponent starts to tap mana, then they decide, let's attack for 1 first. I was on the list. I've not played it yet. It is the next deck. I haven't even talked about it. Good for you looking at the Mox Field. Kataki is just a spirit, right? 1 top, 1 bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I kind of expected my opponent to concede here. Oh, Nambo. Uh-oh. Nambo. Oh, wait, what? You're we're playing? We're still playing? No chance. We're still playing. Noted Peacekeeper. So I have a Scheming Fence right now because I'm pretty taxed at the 3-drop slot. Peacekeeper is really good. Peacekeeper is really good. Good. It's kind of tough. You can't recruit for it. You can play a split maybe. It's less that you can name the card preemptively. But Scheming Fence being 2 mana matters a lot for mana curve considerations. Imagine Dispatch kills your Kataki, they're still in the game. They're not really in the game, right? They're like still like getting 4 for 1, but I don't know. Yeah, you're right. They're more in the game. They would be in pretty bad shape still. B Rocco with the 33 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Because the triggers are just still on the stack. But yeah, I agree. Dispatch seems really nice in their deck, and Metallic Rebuke is just so overrated. Okay, I'll let this die. Yeah, keeping the drums. I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of stuff to check the triggers. I agree. Keeping the drum probably not right there. Rocco, 33 months. Welcome back. So 2-1. Probably could have played better in the Yawgmoth matchup to win. Stacked my triggers bad against a Shieldred. The better artifact aggro deck. So if you want to play artifact aggro in Modern, playing Scales is still probably the best option. Watergrave untapped. Very good to play in Esper Sentinel against this. Kind of bad if they untap Bowmasters, but... Ooh. Interesting. I wonder if this is a Satoru list. Can you say the same about Graveyard decks? No. Not exactly. Like, Graveyard decks is just too vague. Decks with, to some extent, like, Dredge has a hard... Like, Dredge, like, was actually, like, just top tier for a while, despite it having all these weaknesses just because it was like so ridiculous for a while. Back in the like Phoenix when Faithless Looting was legal, like Dredge was a tier 1 deck for a long time, despite people having tons and tons of hate for it. Okay, so Bloodghast. We have a Jirina off of our recruiter, and we have. I guess that's about it as far as actual graveyard hate goes. I think we can just kind of like build our board up really big too, potentially. Norin would be a really good draw here. Could possibly have been better for me to go Recruiter this turn, or Lieutenant. Sorry, Lieutenant this turn for mana efficiency. I think getting the second Sentinel down is good. Them having 2 crabs and like still hitting their land drops is going to put me in a pretty tough spot. Could be the Satoru Craving. What card does Craving refer to in this context? Maybe we'll find out since they're about to like flip their cards over. Oh, Crabvine. Yeah, makes more sense. Yeah, I know Dak loves the Crabvine builds. Smuggler's Surprise. So for 3 mana, you can mill 4 and put 2 creatures and lands from the milled into your hand. For 5 mana, I don't know, this card seems a little sus. Let's give me a couple cards here. I think I'm liking the Larcenist so far. They haven't been like particularly different from like Reflector Mages, I guess. So my opponent is going to bring back 2 Vengevines and 2 Amalgams. Let's go ahead and go to game 2. So don't have a lot of hate for this kind of matchup in the board at the moment. Wouldn't be the toughest deck to try to beat if we wanted to play more hate. The Mariners... Creeping Chill is each opponent, I think. Double check. Yeah, each opponent. I feel like the Mariners are pretty dead. They probably have some hate, like removal spells post board. I prefer Daybreak Ranger over Reflector Mage. Do you prefer it over the Larcenist? What is Daybreak Ranger? Oh, the Brian Kibler card. Okay. I think Meddling Mage likely a little bit better than the Mariner, but we'll just play 1 Mariner. You're probably referring to a different card if not Daybreak Captain. Or maybe Daybreak Captain. Okay. I'll read Daybreak Captain. Card. Seems to be imaginary card. Let's go to mulligan this on the play. Keep this one. I'm gonna put back the second vial. Let's set a mull to 6. So you could do a turn 1 Vial, turn 2 Casatora, Vial, and Champ, draw a card. I need to keep rereading Lively Dirge. It's a card people are like really talking a lot about. Oh yeah. People keep talking about this card. This card is very slow. I don't think it's great. It does seem like it would probably be at its best in a deck like my opponent's. We tried Brutal. Yeah, maybe we're thinking Brutal Cathar. We were playing Brutal Cathar. I was liking Reflector Mage more than the Cathar. We had both at the bit, and then I don't have the strongest opinions about Larcenist yet, but it seemed, solid. Okay, turn 1 Crab. It's kind of cool in this matchup. We're just kind of our goal seems to be build a bigger board than them, and I don't know how good we're gonna be doing at that plan with them being on turn 1 Crab. But we'll find out. Yeah, so I was thinking if I drew a 2 mana card, I would take up the Vial, and if I didn't, I would just Vial on the Champ and then probably take up. Yeah, Flying in Ward is pretty nice. A little bit of a small upgrade that if you have Delney, you have double Ward. So there's a Vengevine. Pylon and Fatal Push. And then they cast Souls of the Lost, discarding Prized Amalgam to have a 7/8, which is pretty dang big. Let's go and take up this Aether Vial to 2. So I'm probably going to Larcenist one of these 2 here. Let's just go ahead and Meddling Mage Fatal Push. Surely they have more pushes than Pylons. I'm not sure why they actually have any Pylons. Maybe like Murktide and stuff. Scion, I guess. Thought very briefly about turning my own vial into a treasure and casting the champ. Seems like that'd be a pretty bad play. Card Collector's Cage. Collector's Cage is cool. I don't think it really fits in this deck. How did does anyone know how Saffron Olive's build went? Collector Caves Humans List 5-0 with Moonshaker. I did not see that. I take a look, I guess. That's with the Collector's? Oh, that's with Collector's Cage for the white Crater Hoof. Decklist had a ton of pylons. Yeah, maybe like with all the Narcomoebas and like stuff, pylon ends up being 0 mana a lot of the time. Maybe. Cage Humans want a prelim. Cool. I mean, I'll take a look at the list. All I saw was Seth's list, which seems interesting. A bit confusing. Isn't Greenhoof just better than white? Well, it's not better if you don't have any like green sources in your deck. Not that you're casting 8 mana very often. You know, the cards are really just not that different. Ooh, they have Wonder. They also have 2 Vengevines. They're also at 8 life. A lot of dynamics going on here. You're not casting either. I don't know. You'll cast them sometimes, but whatever. You will sometimes cast the card. It's not going to happen very often. But it does seem also like just both are going to win most of the time. Yeah, Wonder was a pretty gross pickup here. I think I'm going to get the Vial up to 3. Norin the Wary, huh? Am I just dead? So I have 1 flying blocker, which unlocks the Souls Law. So I block a Vengevine, I take 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If I send with everything first, I guess we'll just... So they can't... They'll chump this. I'm dead. I could draw a another Kitesail Larcenist off the Satoru trigger here to be alive though, so we'll see that. Moonshaker Lex Haste, and I don't know. It also like wouldn't Emrakul like just be better than 2? Like, although in this deck, like Moonshaker is clearly better because it pitches to the pitch cards, so it's 100% better this deck because it pitches. Ugh, Recruiter. It's a little too deep. Wait, but they blocked with too much. They blocked with too much. I'm not dead. Although, well, they just hit a Creeping Chill here. They do hit a Bloodghast, which gets me. Dang. Yeah, we have Jirina in the deck. Jirina is in the deck. So why do they have all these Pick Your Poisons in against me? This guy's so better than Tidebinder in your human deck, yeah. Oh, for Graveyard Hate? I guess that makes sense. Maybe just bring it in any matchup. Although against the humans, like, they're more likely to have Jirina or, like, Sanctifier. Opponent hasn't attacked yet. Okay. Took him a little bit. We're dead. Wait for the 3-2. Yeah, on the play. Pretty middling hand. We definitely have a lot better 6s. Yeah, this hand is just like immediately better. Kind of a risky mulligan, but felt okay making that mulligan decision. Opponent is also on a mulligan to 6. Okay, we file our guy, block both vines. They have Wonder in play, which is giving all of their things flying. That's a problem. I only had 1 blocker. Without the Wonder is kind of an easy one in that spot. Okay, my opponent has a Leyline of Sanctity. Game 1. What deck plays Leyline of Sanctity? Enchantress? Boggles? I have a bunch of War Priest of Thune's on the side, I guess. So dead. Here's the thing about Boggles, though. It's like you always kind of feel like you're, oh no, you're so dead, but the power level of the deck is like just diminished so much over the years. We might be though. So many random decks this league. It's like pretty normal these days for you to play against a bunch of random stuff. Format's kind of all over the place, which I think is pretty fun. So I'm taking 3 down to 16. Play another Boggle, which is likely kind of useless. Okay, I guess we're gonna go recruiting for a Satoru. Attack for 4. I guess attack for 5. He'll bow on the Satoru. They have 2 cards in their hand. I think I'm ticking up the Vial to 3. It's just the most mana efficient. Usually when you have Satoru in play, you're just like able to Vial in a 3-drop every single turn. I think it's the Larcenist is just not that good. I guess if my opponent plays like Core, Spirit Dance, or whatever, decision point becomes pretty easily. Why not Meddling on the Daybreak? Mostly because this play is way better. Imagine my opponent doesn't have Daybreak Coronet in their hand. This is going to be drawing me tons and tons of cards, including right now. Okay, so I'm down to 9. I'm going to take up the Vial here. Okay, then I'll just go ahead and main phase this. I think I'm actually going to turn my recruiter into a treasure here so that I can double lieutenant afterwards. Then I am attacking or not? It's probably attacking. Spike, you inspired me to make Satoru Nora my banner base Satoshi, so I think maybe holding yourself back by playing only human slots. Maybe we played a version that was not only humans, with grief and ephemerate and subtlety, and it was okay. The mana base was bad. Not only is the mana in humans a lot better, but Norin is a much better card in this deck where you have 4 champ and 4 Thalia's lieutenants. So like the problem with Norin in the other builds is like it is only good if you draw Satoru. Here Norin is good if you draw champ, lieutenant, Satoru, or recruiter. It's good with 16 cards in your deck. Also, the build kind of feels like it has a more cohesive plan alongside better mana, is a better Aether Vial deck, but you can do you. I'm not, of course, convinced that there isn't a good build of like what you're describing out there. Davis with Twitch Prime, thank you so much. Yeah, but I would encourage you to keep like working on that kind of build. I think I'm probably gonna bring in the Force of Negations. My blue card count's looking a little low though. Not if I bring in the mages, but let's play 1. Does Boggles beat Force of Negation? Is Force good against Boggles? Like you're just kind of countering a 1-drop most of the time. But also remember the game unlosable. It's just Boggles sucks. The power level is super low. Like you're just taking a long time to build one big creature, and then it's just like it's so easy to like delude yourself into thinking that maybe Boggles is good right now, and it just never is. It is like incidentally weak to a lot of things you wouldn't expect it to be weak to. It's just like demulligan so much. It's tough out there. Hits all key enchantments, which they have. I mean, Force of Negation, you're 2-for-1ing yourself against a 1-mana enchantment. I know it hits all their key enchantments, but I don't know. It's okay. You could bring it in. Force of Negation, like there's a lot of decks that are like really weak to like forces or Force of Negation. Boggles just doesn't strike me nearly as weak as a lot of others. Well, definitely very happy to draw Viome. Yeah, it was like people were playing a bunch of edicts. Shadow Spear turns off hexproof. Just so much. Like a lot of decks just ignore you. Like you can just never race Titan. It's like, and then also your deck is so inconsistent too. It's like, it's hard. Excuse me. Force of Vigor. Nice. Sorry for the hack in here. Yeah, I'll Meddling Mage us Core Spirit Dancer. Or is Light Pulse more common now? Maybe Light Pulse is the more likely one. Is it Light Space Pause? Any help, chat? Light Paw? Light Dash Paw. So see if we named right, if they play Core Spirit Dancer. Yeah, we've discussed Dawnbreaker Cleric versus War Priest of Thune a lot. War Priest, I think in 2-2 is just better than 1-3 with the other two abilities. If you disagree, that's fine. Okay, didn't name Ledgewalker. Not one of that for next game. I'm just gonna grab Satoru here. Yeah, but I think it's just kind of simple, right? If you do think that the if you do think that the other two modes are better than being a 2-2, play Dawnbreaker Cleric. At the moment, I don't. If I had less tools against Gorios, then I would be like more inclined. But I think we just have plenty of tools against Gorios. Okay, Audacity, the opponent has made on turn 4 a 3/1 trample flyer, basically. 1-3 blocks Ragavan better than 1-2. Yeah, this is relevant against Domain Zoo, against Titan. I'm also bringing in the card. I'm much happier to have the 2-2. Again, I don't know. It's at least like such a boring interaction or boring like decision point that I don't want to debate it forever. If you have a strong opinion, you're free to make the change. It's going to be very very minor either way. Like you're still like if you're gonna go like War Priest kill their ley line and they have Ragavan, you're still just kind of okay making that trade in that matchup. You're pretty happy to like Thalia's Lieutenant get a 3/3 against the Shober Brawler and like the Coddle. Ooh, they have a Path to Exile. Nice. But yeah, I don't know. It's just not the most interesting thing to debate. Full wagon, thank you again for the 14 months. Plays a Windswept Teeth. Has Daybreak Coronet. So I can War Priest of Thune the Audacity to kill the Coronet at this turn. It does let them draw a card. It's probably okay. Since this Ledgewalker will no longer be an enchanted creature after we kill the Audacity, the Daybreak Coronet falls off. Old school trick. They have no cards in their hand. Also, Boggle players don't tend to play protection since their whole deck is hexproof. Kind of defeats the point, but they lost the plot. It is what it is. Dryad Arbor. I accept this trade of my recruiter for your land. While you have Horizon Canopy in play. Try to Wicked God. Yeah, oh no, you got me. Poor Boggles. I know it's just so tough where you're like, maybe Boggles is good now. It has so many problems. Like just kind of beyond just like a lot of incidental hate. You just also don't have a good strategy to win. I can't block, so we'll take 2. We could lose this game for what it's worth. We're gonna Meddling Mage, Daybreak Coronet this turn. Maybe I will. It seems like that could be their last card. What's the deal with Norin? You're about to see Norin the Wary comes back on my turn and my opponent's turn usually to draw a card off Satoru twice a turn cycle. It also grows Champion of the Parish. It also grows Thalia's Lieutenant. Meddling Mage, name Daybreak Coronet. What a timeline. Not the worst top deck, huh? Plays a Windswept Teeth. Has a spell. That spell is Spirit Mantle. For a cool +2/+2. They've got me on a 2-turn clock, but they're just dead on the crackback. Oh, not a 2-turn clock. 2, 3. Oh, sorry. I thought this would be a 5/5. Even without the knowledge of this Thalia's Lieutenant, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, they're just dead on board. Guess they have second Dryad Arbor. See what I mean? Like, Boggles is just even losing to humans. It's just like time to not time to sleeve up to Boggles yet. I'm gonna run one more